And the story keeps getting interesting. Let's keep watching to hear more.
After we moved to Huruma, we moved a lot, but one place that I've been constant with is my village, Mali, where we currently live. So we moved to Moranga in a village called Kiawambao. So I've grown up. I went to primary school in Kiawambao, though I went to boarding school in class 6. I went to high school in Moranga as well. So my whole life has been based in Moranga. So after in 2020, during COVID, when COVID came, we were just chilling at home with my sister and my mom, and we realized we're just having a discussion, a very normal discussion, and we realized that there's so many girls in my community or in my village who have opted for marriage more than school. Like you find someone who's very young, 12 years, 13 years, they're already married. You see a small kid carrying another kid. Yani mtoto wake, mtoto kwa mtoto, you know. And it was very I don't know, I don't feel as if it is okay, because my community, when I have discussions with people, they tend to think that a woman is supposed to just to give birth, you know, because it is very abnormal for university. It becomes so abnormal to them. They've never seen that. I believe that I'm the first or the second person to go to university in my village. So they have that mentality. Yeah. If you finish your high school, you get married immediately. And I felt that was very bad. So in 2020, me and my twin came up with an idea of save dreams. We wanted to save the dreams of these people, because we believe that everyone has a dream. Everyone wishes to be someone, but they don't have the direction. Nobody tells you that you can actually be a doctor, you can actually be a journalist, you can actually be a therapist as you are. But people don't know that. So I felt it's up to me to tell these other young girls who are now growing up, you can save that dream of yours. So that's when we came up with Save Dreams Kenya. My sister and I, we called some girls in our home. We had a lunch, and we had a candid girl talk with them, and it was very amazing. So after 2020, took a car, we went back to school and just continued with our business, and then now came 2022 this year. So one day I'm walking from my home to the shopping center. It's quite far, in Balisana. So as I was walking, it was around 2. I passed through Shule Kiambe Primary School. That's where I went to school for a very good part of my life. So as I was walking, I met a girl. She was tying a sweater around her waist, and she was crying, and she was trying to run. So she was in a hurry, and she has tied a sweater around her waist, and I tried calling her, and she was she can't, analia tu anaenda, and I wondered what is wrong with her. That's when I realized, after my pizza, I saw a stain on her dress up at chini. So I then knew that she had maybe gotten the periods for her first time, and she didn't know what to do totally. And I felt really bad, because I knew that situation felt so similar. I'd been there some years back. I knew how it felt. I knew how judged I'd feel. And I've ever messed in primary as well. We shy mess, you know. And kids don't understand. They will laugh at you. They will laugh at you so bad. So I saw this kid, and I was I don't know. I was so touched, and I felt if a kid is running from school at this point, that means that we are not doing enough. We are not doing enough. I believe that every kid should know that this is how you're supposed to prepare. This is how you're supposed to know that you're almost in your menses. This is what you're supposed to have when you start menstruating. So I took it up to myself, and I talked to my sister. She told me, we can start. We already started Save Dreams, so we said, what about we do another initiative under Save Dreams? So we came up with this idea of our initiative is called Pad This Girl from Kiambao. So we came up with the idea of Pad This Girl from Kiambao. Now the main challenge was looking, because again we're still students. I took our cousin. The main problem was coming up with the funds to buy the sanitary towels. So our idea, I went to the school and I inquired with the head teacher and teacher in charge there. in charge there. They told me they have from class 4 to class 8 they have around 81 girls. So I went back to my sister, we did the maths, we realized that if we just come up with enough and buy 2 packets for each girl, as well as an innerwear, it will go a long way. You know, little is better than nothing, right? Sure. So my mom suggested, why don't you talk to Shiko, because she's been working with girls, and like she's very passionate about these things. Just talk to her and see what she can come up with. That's why I called my cousin. I explained the initiative to her, and like when I told her the idea, the first thing she told me, you have no idea what you just told me. Just imagine, like what you told me is what I've been thinking about, you know. And like it was just the idea at the right time. So I talked to her and I talked to you and
I ran with the opportunity.
Yeah.
Like she said, the initiative is so dear to me because I remember, I am assuming at every girl has at some point lacked something which is so basic, a pad. Because at some point myself, talking from experience, at some point back in the days, kuna wakati probably pad was an issue. Getting a pad was an issue because probably your parents, you know, till probably 18, you have to depend on your parents. These things are so sudden, and then back in the days we didn't really know our cycle, unlike now. So it once happened, and I felt weird not being in that situation and not having a pad, but I was able to improvise. So this is something that I've always said. When I grow up, it is something I'd not want another girl to go through, which is inevitable. So I remember after I cleared high school, after I started working, I'm always on Instagram or on social media, and I really love following different celebrities. Yeah. So sometimes one day I saw I will not mention who had posted. He asked me a question. So she had posted that, and another lady slid in her DM and told her, I'm going through when they say, you tell me about your day. So this particular lady went to her and told her, unfortunately I'm on my menses and I don't have pads, so that means I can't go out to fend for my child. I think she was still young. So I slid in this celebrity's DM and I was like, can you connect me to her? And we were connected, and I was able, at the time I knew someone who's close to me that works with the biology industries. He obtains pads. So I was able to get her. I got a box that has, I think, 100 pads, and took them to my house. So I called this lady and told her, you come to me, I'll give you a packet that probably will last you a year, because a packet inside has 12 packets of such. So I told her, just come to my house, and I was able to, and I could see how happy she was, because I didn't give her money, I didn't give her food, but I gave her probably something that she'll need and something that she'll use. She was really excited, and I got back to the celebrity. She's Kenyan, and I told her what I did, and she was really excited about that. It felt good. It felt good knowing that I've helped someone who was in my situation back then, and I imagined it if it was me back then, and someone gives me a whole packet for a whole year. Remember, these are 100 pads. I've just given her a few of them, so I had other pads in my house. So every time probably a lady friend will visit me, I'll be like, by the way, I have pads, just have some. So I gave my parents, I went home with some, and I gave a lot of people, and then it felt really nice. It felt nice, like knowing I've helped someone. And then see that at given post, Nile, you just given, you know you've given someone. And then I really got interested in it, and that started thinking about having something that probably giving it to people, but it became, I'd say, kind of expensive, because the whole box came for the box I had at home was around 3,500. So I was like, it's a bit expensive. Then I saw her initiative. It's funny enough because it was so coincidental, it happened around the same time. So I saw her initiative, she talked to me, and funny enough, I was to talk to her about the same. And we decided to, I have my other two friends who are one is also a coder, her parents are also deaf, and another one was my colleague back in 2020 before COVID happened. So I talked to those two girls, and I requested if they would be willing to, maybe we form a group of girls. Well, because me as a girl, this is something I've gone through, because I find it, if a man is in this initiative, funny enough, our partners in biology, it's a man, but he's very well versed and has a lot of information about girls. So when he sat us down, I felt like it would really mean a lot coming from a woman, because it's woman to woman, you know. So yeah, she approached me, and I found it fair enough to probably do it as a group and participate in that, because we will be giving back to the community.
We've come up with a group of 4 girls, me, Shko, and her 2 friends. We Save Dreams is independent, but we are coming up with something that will be very vital in our community. Would you like to talk about it?
Yeah. So basically, what we're trying to do now, you know, once as a community, we have a lot of period shame, and like she has said, a lot of people don't know about menstrual hygiene. Sometimes we give pads, but we don't give panties. We don't give soaps. Because when it comes to menstrual hygiene, it is very vital, like she said, because a lot of people don't know how long you're supposed to stay with your pad on. A lot of people don't know how to put a pad on. You might give that girl probably in the interior as a pad, but she doesn't have a panty to hold the pad. So actually with this initiative, we are planning to have a bag in a business where this bag has a panty, has a pad, and has soap. And also through that we'll be able to create employment. We are looking forward to creating employment for this girl to enable them, because probably today I've given them a pad. Where will they get that pad tomorrow? So we're trying to have this initiative where we will be employing women and girls to do things that probably through that, the source of income that they make, they can be able probably to take care of their menstrual health and also their menstrual hygiene. So it's a whole initiative that includes women, girls, and enabling them to buy pads for themselves, because you might give them that 1 packet today. What about tomorrow? Because one thing about having your menses, it's not an option. That's something that you will have every month, not unless you're pregnant. And that's why probably we look at it like pads should be free, because I don't understand why condoms are free and pads are sold. Because sex is a choice. You decide to have sex, but you don't decide to have your periods. So we are looking to educate girls about menstrual health and hygiene, and also empowering probably girls who are out of school, and to empower them to be able to buy the pads themselves. As a group.
To add on that, when I talked to Shko about this initiative, she arranged a meeting between now me, her 2 friends, and now the Balaji
Industries.
Yeah. Now when we talked to the man, his name is Alan. He explained so much. He is very passionate about menstrual health, which was very odd for us, because we don't know so much about menstrual health. Yet this is a man who knows so much. So when we engaged him, he talked to us about now doing menstrual health care socially, to take this initiative to the communities. So he's a founder, or Balaji Entrepreneurs
and Industries.
Balaji Industries, they make these pads. They are called 24 Care. So he donated a whole box of this, and then he has promised, we are partnering with him to have 3 to 6 months training about menstrual hygiene and menstrual health. So after we've undergone the training, we'll be in a better position to even educate the girls out there. So after we have undertaken now the training, we're going to come up with a company or an initiative, a community-based organization. Now the 4 of us will come together to form an initiative that now will start now giving now the bag that she was talking about, that contains pads, soap, towel, innerwears. Yeah, we'll start distributing them to girls. But again, we are also looking at starting our own brand of these sanitary towels. So Balaji Industries have partnered with Save Dreams Kenya to donate now the sanitary towels for this first initiative. But we are currently undergoing training, which will last 3 to 6 months, where in the long run we'll have to come up with a brand for ourselves and a community-based organization, which is our own, where we'll have a kitty bag, donating a kitty bag to every girl. The kitty bag will contain a sanitary towel or 2 packets, depending, soap, bathing towels, and innerwears. That is the long run idea for what we are trying to do. I don't think people really understand the emotional baggage that comes with menstruation. Kwanza kuna kitu inaitwa cramps. I don't know. Hey, if people don't know how painful. When your muscles are contracting and expanding and contracting and expanding, and you feel like your body is just everywhere. That is, the cramps are very painful, and people should understand that. Alafu kuna kwanga na when you're in your menses, your emotions hazikwangi like intact. They are everywhere. You have mood swings all the time. You can be happy this minute, the next minute you're very angry at everyone, you don't want to see anyone, which is very normal. So I feel like people, these are things that we are seeking to educate people about, because people think that when a woman is moody, you call like which is very very wrong to say that, because moody. It's just your body reacting to the changes that are happening to your body. So I don't think that people really understand the emotional baggage that comes with menstruation, which is what we're trying to do, educate them about menstrual health, and we just want to put an end to the shame. It is very rude. It is very wrong. That is what we're trying to eradicate in our communities. So for our initiative, we're having an initiative that is called Pad This Girl from Kiambeo. I already talked about that. Maybe I can show you the branding. So this is our t-shirts. Okay. It's called Pad This Girl from Kiambeo. At the moment, we've received, we have several donors. First of all, Balaji Industries wame to support. They have donated a whole carton of sanitary towels, yes. Then ziko na 100 packets inside. We also have people who have, actually most of my friends have really come through for this initiative. I have a team of 12 girls who have worked tirelessly to make sure that we have everything that we need and that it is intact. Also my friends, like me, post through WhatsApp and I was like, okay, there you go. And the reception was so amazing, and I'm like so humbled because people took it up to themselves to like fund Pad This Girl. We're calling this Pad This Girl from Kiambeo.
We're also hoping probably to approach NGOs, governors, institutions, anyone who would be willing to partner with us in these initiatives, because like we've said, that kitty bag that entails all that, it needs money. Also training, empowering these young ladies probably to do this, so probably to make their own undies and all, it needs money to be put in for them to be independent later in life. We're humbly asking for anyone who would be willing to partner with us, work with us, our governors, anyone who probably is in the sector that entails with the girl child. We would really want you to partner with us and work with us to empower our young girls, because girls are dropping out because of something as small as having your periods. So we are humbly requesting bottom up, the hustler fund.
We're looking at that.
Yeah, it would really come in handy to empower our young girls to be leaders in the near future. For them not to drop out of school, for them not to get married because of such reasons, because a lot of girls are married off. Maybe you get pregnant because you didn't have that packet of pad and a boyfriend somewhere would be willing to give you that pad in exchange of something. So you find a lot of people probably broken marriages, young marriages, So we'd really want to empower our young women and our young girls for them to be better women in the future.
As we said earlier, for our initiative, it's not more of giving. As much as we're giving the kitty bag, as much as we want these girls to have these amenities with them, it is more of educating them. That's why we are undertaking the training. We want to be in a better place to teach these girls about menstrual health. That is our main goal. So when we go to a school, if we, like for example, we are going to Kiambeo Primary School on 28th. When we go there, our main aim, we'll have a mentorship program running from 2 p.m. to around 4 p.m. We'll just be talking to them, telling them about menstrual health, the myths and misconceptions, what you're supposed to do in your menses, how to know that you are almost receiving your periods. Those are the things that we want to sensitize more. I love to know, after we're done with the mentorship, after we're done with the talk, after we're done with now talking to them about menstrual health, now we can go to giving now these sanitary towels. Because we can give them like a packet or two, but that will help them for like 1 month or 2 months. But the education that we are instilling in them will live with them forever. Because some of us didn't like get these things. We've come to learn, because most of the things that I'm learning about menstrual health, nimekuja kusoma sai when I'm doing this initiative. You know, I didn't know so much. That's why I'm undertaking this training. So because I know when I'm better educated, I'm going to educate another girl. That is our main goal, to educate and to sensitize about menstrual health, menstrual hygiene, proper disposal of pads, because unaweza enda hata upate hata mtu amedispose nini anyway, you know, and you can't blame someone because that is someone who lacks knowledge. That's why we are trying so hard to instill this knowledge to them before we give them now the amenities that we have. We also would love to ask our schools or the Ministry of Education to make menstrual health a syllabus, or to, when we are learning about reproductive health, when we're learning about sexual transmitted disorders, we should learn about menstrual health disorders, you know, not menstrual health disorders, but the disorders that comes with menstrual health, because most girls don't know that when you're in your menses, you have high chances of getting UTI, yeast infection, the infections that comes with menstruation. That is also one thing that we want to really touch on when you're talking to girls, because we have UTI, we have yeast infection, we have the cramps. You know, mtu anaweza pata cramps na shangae, boy, what is my body doing? People don't really understand that. The mental health disorders, because when someone is in her periods, they're not like operating normally. There's something that is amiss. So that's what we really want to sensitize about, and we want to ask if it's possible for our Ministry of Education or the teachers, as you teach your students, kindly mention these disorders. Tell them that when you're in your menses, it is very likely that you can get an infection after, because unaweza pata mtu anasikia tu kujikuna na hajui ni nini, probably overstayed with a sanitary towel, you know. Those are the things that we're supposed to be teaching, and that is why we've taken it up on ourselves to carry this knowledge that we have, as little as it is. We know that it's going to help a girl out there.
Also, I'd want to add on that when it comes to how long you should stay with a pad, recently we came to learn that a lot of pads, the top sheet, which is probably what is in contact with your skin, is sana plastic. So the more you stay with it, the more it reacts with your body, because anything that doesn't have plastic is written cottony, meaning it has a bit of cotton in it, and the more cotton that the more cotton that a pad has, the more expensive it is. So these quite affordable pads, which are range around 50 bob to 100 bob, don't have that cottony at all. The top sheet is just plastic. So the more you stay with it, the more it burns you, the more probably unhealthy it is and unhygienic it is, because the one that has the cottony goes for around 300 to 500 shillings. Also, what we didn't touch on is we're slowly learning as a group. The group of 4 girls will be also taking lessons on how to probably make pads. Like she said, we are planning to have our own brand, and that brand will have been taught from scratch, like how to make a pad, what's supposed to be in a pad and all, to make it health friendly.
So Safe Dreams Kenya is as I mentioned earlier, is a community-based organization. We have social media handles on Instagram, Safe Dreams Kenya, and Safe Dreams_Kenya on Facebook, Safe Dreams Kenya. You can also contact me through my social media handles at Jambigaido on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you also want to support our initiative, we are welcoming donors, we are welcoming sponsors, we are welcoming you to come and join us. You can call me on 07 95 344 686. 07 95 344 686. Come join us and let's put an end to menstrual shame.
What I'd love to say is, let's make period normal. Let's make it it is something that happens to each and every girl out there. Let's make it normal. Let's stop period shaming. Also, our parents, I'd urge them to really talk about these things with their kids, because unfortunately a lot of kids end up doing weird things because they have nobody to approach. Let's make it normal. Let's make it norm for anyone to approach you and talk to you about menstrual health. Like she said, I'll also encourage teachers in school. Let's make period menstrual hygiene probably a lessons that you take in school as young as from 12. Let's make it normal and preach the gospel and probably help a sister. And probably you have something like you have a pad to give someone. Make sure that every girl out there has pads. Even the girls in the interiors, in the rural areas, we would really want them to be able to have this because it's a basic need that we all need.
What I'd love to say to the community or to anyone listening to me right now, we are not yet there as a community, we are not yet there as a country. The fact that a young girl, probably class 6 or class 7, would run from school to home to go look for a sanitary towel means that we are not yet there. Our goal is to ensure that every school, like the end game of Save Dreams Kenya is to make sure that every school in Kenya has access to sanitary towels. Like if I want to take my kids to school, the first thing I'd want to know is what if she starts her menses? Will she be safe? You know, will she have someone to tell her that it is normal, that we have these products for you? So I'd really love to sensitize on this issue that we should normalize talking to people about menstrual health. We should normalize making these packets or these sanitary towels easily accessible to girls. So that's what we're trying to do as Save Dreams Kenya. We also, for the government, we understand that they're trying to give free packets to girls or to women, but they're not enough. They are not. We are yet from having enough. Because if you use 2 packets for every month and the government gives you 1 packet for a whole year, it doesn't, just like a drop in the ocean. It will not work. I really ask the government to take it upon themselves to ensure that our girls out there have enough sanitary towels with them whenever they start having their menses.
Wow, I cannot add more, but everything good that has a beginning must come to an end. And tonight, I just wish I could go on, but then again, there's always next time. I've been your host, Maureen Waititu. See you next week, same place, same time.